Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast, the podcast for Wed Pros no matter their stage. We are your hosts, Katie and Roxy, and this is the Wed Pro Podcast.
Hey, it is Katie here. Welcome back. And I'm joined by Roxy as always. Wouldn't it be weird if you just weren't here one day?
I know. I mean, I have done the odd one without you here, and it's like, today I'm on my own. Katie sends love. That's not what I said. I'm here. Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're listening from. Because actually, on that note, we had our Spotify wrap, didn't we? Kind of the end of 2024, because now we're in 2025. And we've got listeners everywhere. So thank you. I was like, wow, we've got people listening from all corners of the world. I love that.
There we go. I don't know many languages. Bonjour, bonjour, no, hello, and all of that. Okay, today
we have less listeners.
Yeah. Today, we're going to be diving into, actually, over the next couple of pods, we're going to delve into this, aren't we? Into looking at why maybe you're not getting enough inquiries, like filling that top funnel, and then breaking it down into what you can do about that. So we're going to do this over the next couple of podcasts. And remember, if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, why the flipping hell not? Please hit that subscribe button. It helps us to bring more of this content to you and helps other wedding pros to find us as well. If you find this helpful, please give us a little share. And also remember, you can drop in and have a conversation with us on Instagram. We are always thinking up new topics, things that you guys and girls want to listen to. So if we haven't covered something and you've got a burning question, feel free to drop into our Instagram DMs. And yeah, we're
very active over on the gram. So if you DM us, it will be us that DMs you back.
Yeah.
Please do. Yeah, but today we are diving into a big one, as Katie said, why you're not getting inquiries. And we hear this all the time, don't we?
Yeah, I think, we are in kind of a seasonal business where we could have like peaks and troughs. And I think, especially off the back of the last couple of years where things have just been purely chaotic, most of us will have felt periods of time where things have been a little bit slow. But let's get into it and see what we can do to help you attract more of those dream lovely couples. So engagement season's here, which means there are plenty of potential clients out there. It's also a super busy time for you as a wedding professional, and that can sometimes make it feel like there's no time to focus on anything but kind of keeping your head above water and just surviving, really.
Yeah, but here's the deal. No matter how hectic your calendar actually is, you've got to carve out time to work on your business, not just in it. And we say it all the time. The groundwork you lay during this busy period will set you up for success in the quieter months. Only because, you feel like you're busy, you still need to be putting those foundations in place for the future.
I think so. And it can absolutely feel like a little bit of a slog. We're at the start of a new year. Things are quite busy. Kids, back at school. And, you're juggling your business, consultations, baby events. Maybe you're just still coming off the back of Christmas and, catching your breath for 10 minutes. But really now is the time to be doubling down on your visibility efforts. The inquiries that you want later on in the year are directly tied to the work that you do now. And really kind of the bookings, this is a peak booking period for the year. So it's time to kind of get clear on what you're doing, put a plan in place and put your head down and work for the next couple of weeks, really. And then, things will be a little bit easier later on in the year.
Definitely. So let's start with your website. And, everybody just does this. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I've got a beautiful site. Now the inquiries will roll in. And we sit there and we're like, oh, okay. That's not how it works, is it, guys? Let's be honest.
No, so our website is just another tool for your business. And think of it like having a lovely shop on the high street. But if nobody knows you're there, it doesn't matter how beautifully your shop looks, how gorgeous the window display is, how nice all the products are inside. If nobody knows you're there, they're not going to come and visit you.
Exactly that. Your website needs to be found before it can convert any visitors into clients. And this is where visibility and consistent action really does come in. You have to continuously work on your website. It's not a one and done.
It isn't. So let's have a look at some practical tips and things that you can do to ensure that your website gets found. So first and foremost, and it's a bit of a boring one, but hey ho, put the groundwork in. You can see results fairly quickly, but this is something that people tend to kind of, again, do once and don't really revisit it as often as you could. And that is optimizing for search engine optimization. So thinking about the keywords that your ideal clients are searching for, think beyond wedding supplier and get really specific, and definitely include your location as well. So things like luxury wedding photographer in Manchester, boho wedding florist in Cornwall. I really want you to think about really getting specific. Plus, as your business evolves, your ideal client might evolve. And that is a really good time to go back and revisit any keywords that you set your website up for, because you'll want to be ranking for different keywords at that point as well. So this is something that is evolving as your business evolves as well. Go on, sorry.
I was going to jump in with the next one. And then, as I was saying about consistency, date your stuff regularly. Google loves fresh content, so make sure your site isn't stagnant. And this is where blogging really comes in. Trends change, so it is important and it's really valuable to create new content to keep up with the times. And we will talk about blogging in a bit more detail in a minute.
Right, I want you to think about how mobile friendly your website is. It actually isn't just a case of usability for your website and people. I know that if I can't really get onto a website, it's not fast to load. I can't find what I'm meant to be doing. I can't find the buttons. You're not the only wedding supplier in the world that does what you do. Your clients will go and find the next one.
They will
get the information that they need literally at their fingertips. They're gone. But on this note, it's really important, not just for that fact that it's quick loading, that it's mobile optimized, but also as well, Google puts a lot of weight on your SEO for how good your site is, how mobile friendly it is as well. And there are really easy tools now that you can put onto your website that can convert it very easily across kind of all of the devices. And we've had this, haven't we, with our website? We used to do our website, put it up, and then be like, oh my word, we haven't mobile optimized it.
And it's like an afterthought when actually it should be like up there along with creating the desktop pages. And on that note as well, even if you go in and update things and change pictures and change text, like the sizes of things change. So then every time you update your site, go and check the mobile aspect as well. Just like make it a habit to go and do that, because you will be losing clients 100%. I hate trying to go on a mobile site. It doesn't work. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gone.
And I know it's not easy, but you can, if it's not in your forte, you can hire people to do this for you. It doesn't have to be super expensive. Plus also there's this kit out there now. We recently upgraded our site to a better version of our website. So if you haven't checked out our website recently, go and have a little look. It's very bougie now, isn't it? But that automatically, every time now we make changes, it will just automatically pull through. And actually, you can't get back your time. So for me, that's worth the extra pounds that we spend every couple of months on that. It's worth it because I don't have to spend 2 hours every single time we put something on the site, making it mobile friendly. So let's talk call to actions, our favorite little thing. Every kind of section on your website, every page should guide people who visit your website to the next logical step that you want them to do, whether that is booking a consultation, signing up to your email list, or inquiring. So just think about the process, think about the journey. At every point on your website, we go through a lot of websites, don't we, Roxy? And we're like, there's not enough call to actions on this website.
It's not just enough just to create a website. You have to be directing people what to do next. Like you literally, and it's the same as social media. Like call to actions, like so it's all right having these things, but we always have to think, what is the next step? Like where do I want to direct these people to? And call to actions, they don't have to be salesy either. Like it's worth saying it can be, downloading that freebie or going to check out your blog. But having them there really helps move them on to the next stage.
Okay, let's talk blogging. You just mentioned that a minute ago. So blogging is a really great way of how to increase your visibility. Not only does consistent blogging help, every little helps when it comes to that SEO, but it also gives potential clients a chance to connect with you. You know, you can really get your tone of voice across on there. You can share things in much more detail than you can on socials. You can captivate their attention for a little bit longer and really get your clients to know you on a bit of a deeper level as well.
But the thing here is, as we've said, and if you've not got it by now, it's got to be consistent. You can't just do this once and then be done. A blog post every 6 months is not going to cut it. And I know there's some of you out there listening that are like, that's me. So you need to aim for weekly or at least bi-weekly updates of sorts. So blog, I've got some blog content ideas for you here. So real weddings, you can showcase the weddings that you've worked on, really focusing on the details that make them unique. You could do tips for couples, share advice on planning timelines, budgeting, or trends. You could do blogs on behind the scenes. So give potential clients a glimpse into your process. This builds trust and really shows that you are the expert. Another one that I love is supplier spotlight. So you can collaborate with other wedding pros to highlight their work too. And it's great for networking and cross promotion because they will share that on there, which will get more eyes on your business.
Yeah, don't forget as well to repurpose that content, repurpose your blogs, be a bit clever about things, turn them into social media posts, Pinterest posts, email content. You want to really maximize the mileage of every piece that you write, and you can use ChatGPT and AI to help you with that sort of stuff over there as well.
So as I just spoke about social media, let's look into this a little bit more because it is a really big one and it's not enough just to have a profile. You really need a solid social media strategy. It doesn't have to be complicated, but a strategy.
So first and foremost, you need to be identifying where your ideal couples are hanging out. And for most wedding pros, 90% of you, Instagram is absolutely a must. But depending on your niche, who you serve, you know, Facebook, Pinterest, and TikTok are also quite valuable. Also YouTube as well. So we've got lots and lots of podcasts all about how to delve into a social media strategy. But for some quick tips for today, you want to be showing off your work using high quality visuals to highlight what you do. When I land on your social media, I want to be able to see your style in the first couple of seconds. I want to really understand what it is that you do and your style. When it comes to captions, storytelling still is best. So, you know, what's making you unique? Share the stories behind the weddings, share stories around your processing, and remember to not just always be sales posts. Another big one, and this is one that we hear a lot of the time, is people saying, oh, you know, I'm really struggling to get conversations on my social media. I'm really struggling to grow my followers. But social media is a two-way street. And as your socials grow, this does become much easier and, you know, you can pick up the traction quite easily. We're at kind of 8,500 followers, I think, on Instagram now, and we don't need to do this as much. However, we always make sure we're responding to comments, we're interacting with other accounts, and we're building those relationships. If you are a wedding supplier with less than 5,000 followers, I'd say, and those of you that have got less than 1,000, this needs to be a priority. You need to be carving out time 4 times a week to be 15 minutes a day, 4 times a week, to just go and be commenting, interacting, thinking about where are your clients hanging out, go and having a look at the wedding suppliers that come before you, interacting with their accounts, looking at the engagement hotspots in your area, and seeking out ideal clients on Instagram. And just remember that clients do love to see the real you. Connection is massive in 2025, especially with a lot of the rise of AI content. This is where you can really stand out. So do remember to be sharing behind the scenes stuff, things on your stories, pieces to camera, speaking to camera, that sort of stuff, because that's exactly where you're going to stand out and make those connections. There is nothing like a little bit of eye contact, is there? And a little bit of like direct talking to people that just gets people feeling all the feels and feeling like they really know you. And we've been harking on about this now for 10 plus years.
Haven't we?
Video.
We were doing lives before
before lives were invented.
I didn't know what it sounds like. Where am I going with this?
Where are we going? But
I remember the day.
video.
I remember the day you were like, right, we're getting on the lives now, and we were in the bridal shop, and we were all like, oh my god, what is this? This is scary. But it works.
But it builds rapping and like trust. So your clients need to rack up time with you in order to get to the point in their journey where they feel comfortable enough and confident enough to book, well, not just even book you, to inquire with you in the first place. And one of the quickest ways to build know, like, and trust is on video, because people really get a feel for who you are, whether they like you, whether you know what you're talking about, whether they feel like they, you know, could hang with you, could work with you, whether you could collaborate on ideas with people. So now, it's not to say you can't build trust in other ways, but it's just by far, in our experience, one of the most rapid ways to build.
100%. And remember as well, it's better to be easy for me to say. It's better to be consistent on one or two platforms. Literally can't speak today. I'm going to do that bit again. And remember, it's better to be consistent on one or two platforms than spread yourself too thin across 5, because that's really unachievable. If you aren't so good with that consistent posting, definitely start with 1 or 2. Plan your content in advance. Think about the kinds of content that you want to put out there and literally map it out week by week, so you know what to post and when. You can schedule it in. I remember when we're going way back to the bridal shop days, on a Sunday night when it was my kids' like bath time, I would sit on the bathroom floor whilst they were having a bath, and I'd plan the content for the week. So I know it's a little bit like, oh gosh, it's one more thing to do, but if you can get ahead of the game, like, you will be laughing with this.
And there are tools that are out there that can help you.
Yes.
Go and check out Content Club over on our website, the Wedding Business Hub, and that will give you kind of all of your content for the entire month, and you just need to chop and change and put your branding on it and put your tone of voice on it. So there are things out there as well. Here's a little tip. If you are in the first 6 months of your business, I would say choose one platform to go all in on, and even one offer. So don't complicate it with packages and trying to do everything for everybody. I'd say in the first 6 to 12 months of your business, really focus on one platform, one product, one niche, and really hone that in, and then grow from that as you go, and get more confidence, get more time, understand how the algorithms work, understand how the content works. And then you can grow that. And also, you know, at that point, you know, what do people want? And also, it's a really great way for being known as the person that does that thing, rather than, number 1, spreading yourself too thin, but number 2, just trying to do too much and people not really knowing, you know, what are you the expert in. Okay, let's chat PR. We don't chat enough about PR, do we? But it really is a game changer. And I think, you know, this is a bit of a minefield. Maybe people shy away from it because they kind of feel, probably for 2 reasons. Number 1, it is about putting yourself out there, isn't it? And I know that people struggle to do that. But also, as well, maybe it's just a little bit of a minefield and people are a little bit not quite sure as to how to go about getting PR. But the thing about PR is, it's just about positioning yourself as the expert in what you do. And it's a really great way of getting in front of new audiences as well.
It really is. And we've had some amazing wins in our group coaching program, haven't we, with our wedding businesses that we support, you know, trying to get some PR. And if you put yourself out there, like, it does come to you, it will happen. So start off by reaching out to wedding blogs and magazines, and don't be afraid to pitch your work or offer advice or offer advice pieces. Even if you get a no, you're planting the seed for future opportunities. And I've got some quick PR wins for you that you can kind of have a little go at. So on Twitter, now X actually, use #journo_request, as journalists often post opportunities for expert input. That's a really good one, because that's journalists like seeking help there and then. So, and there's loads on there. So you can also collaborate with blogs. So offer to write guest posts or contribute to styled shoots. And it's really good to tie it into trends as well. So look at what's happening in the world, any big events, any seasonal changes, and find ways to link your expertise into those topics as well.
Yeah, PR isn't just about, like, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing, oh no, so great. But it's about demonstrating value and showing how you can help. And definitely just contacting local radio stations, local magazines, blogs, and even like you say, if it is a no for now or you don't hear, you just keep being consistent. It's one of those things like when you want to get onto a wedding venue, recommended list, you can't just do a one and done. You've got to keep at it. You know, opportunities are out there and you don't have to pay for all of them either, do you? There's quite often a lot of them will come your way. We've never paid for any PR actually. We've never paid for any. And we've had national coverage, local coverage, radio coverage, television coverage, and we've never paid for any PR. That's not to say that that is a bad strategy if you want to use that strategy, but if you're...
Hey, listen, like PR has got me as far as being on Netflix, guys. So...
But if you are maybe someone struggling at the minute and thinking, okay, why are the inquiries not coming in? It's just about being visible, isn't it? And getting visible in as many places as you can.
Okay, so let's talk about video. I've had a love-hate relationship with video content, and we know it's scary, but it is, as we've said, one of the most effective ways to connect with your audience. I used to hate it. And as we said, like back in the bridal shop, I literally remember the day Katie was like, right, there's lives coming to Facebook, we're getting on this. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But actually now I flipping love it. I love it.
Yeah, lives, real stories, they all help your audience get to know you. And remember, people do buy from people. If they see your face and hear your voice, like we said, they are far more likely to trust you. So you can share quick wins, you can share tips, tutorials, how to choose the perfect venue, how to create a mood board. You can answer questions on a live video. You could do a little bit of a behind the scenes, take people with you to go on your coffee dates, so your networking meetings. If you're scouting out a new venue, take your audience with you. There are so many video content ideas that you can kind of jump on and just, it is about just doing, I think in business, it's about doing the stuff that other people potentially aren't doing. And that's what's going to get you the leg up, and that's what's going to get you noticed and just give you that edge. Because let's be honest, we're not reinventing the wheel here, are we? Like, quite a lot of us are doing similar stuff, and that's okay. There's plenty of business to go around. But I think the really successful businesses are the ones that sit and think, okay, I'm going to put the work in, I'm going to do the strategy, I'm going to sit and have a plan of not just, okay, what am I going to do in 5 years' time, but actually I know exactly what I'm doing today. I know what I need to do tomorrow. I know what I need to do on Friday. And it's the businesses that have got that edge and are actually just pushing that little bit, 2% more, that are the most successful.
That's it. And with all these strategies, especially like with the social media stuff, it takes time to build it up. So you can't just do this for a week and then go, oh well, that's not working.
Yeah,
that's not enough time to give it chance to work. So you've got to dig your heels in, keep going with stuff like this, and it will happen. Like for us with this podcast, for the first few years, it was just kind of one of those things that
we were podcasting to like 9 people.
Yeah,
for a long time. And yeah, we really were like, okay, what can we do here? How do we tweak it? What do we, and then we were like, right, we're going to go all in. We're going to go all in for 12 months and we'll see where it's in. Now, other people might have looked at that and gone, oh, it's not working. Now, our podcast is one of our biggest sources of leads, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And at
one point with it, actually, can you remember when I had a bit of a podcast block? And I was really struggling to even record an episode. But now I'm like, oh, whatever. If I fluff it up a little bit, we'll just cut that bit out. And that's the thing as well. Don't worry about being perfect, because authenticity is far more important than it being polished, like 100%. Some of this that you are listening to now probably should have been edited out at some point, but maybe there's bits that have been missed. But we are bringing the goods, the value, the information to help you in your business.
And that's what I think that is what people tap in for. They don't tap in for the polished production. If you are giving value, information, good stuff, and value doesn't have to just be advice. Value can be a little bit of entertainment or 2 minutes out of their day while they're scrolling on Instagram while they're having a coffee in the morning. That is still value to some people. So value doesn't just have to be giving away resources or giving away information, but it just makes you amazingly relatable. And I think, a lot of our clients are in awe of small businesses. I do think they genuinely want to see small businesses succeed. They want to champion you. They know that if you're succeeding, they're going to have the best wedding possible. So it's not about anybody kind of looking at you and thinking, oh my word, this needs to be perfect. But I think it's just really about how relatable you make it. And everybody has imperfect parts of their life and imperfect parts of things that go on. Kids that come in, doorbells go, dogs bark, all of this sort of stuff.
Like,
and you know,
like my cat, remember that time we had a wasp? There's just like,
yeah, like things happen and it's fine. And actually, some of the time, how many times, here you go, here's a perfect example. How many times will you agonize over a reel, putting a reel out, and it takes you like 3 hours to get it out, and you think, oh my God, this is banging, and it absolutely flops. And then another time, you just post something and you think it's absolutely going to be rubbish and pants, and it goes boom. And that's just the example. You know, people don't want perfect, they can't relate to perfect.
No.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about that, especially with that time management. And it does feel overwhelming to juggle everything. Scheduling here is going to be your secret weapon. And also, when you do get to a point where you can outsource some things, and it doesn't have to be loads, it can just be a couple of hours a week. You can outsource for 30 quid an hour, £25 an hour, and you can really get that time back to do other focused things in your business. But also, what I love about outsourcing is that it frees brain space for me. It's not just the fact of the posting on socials, but it's actually the, okay, I've got to schedule some time in my day to sit and plan that. Then I've got to sit and write the content, and I've got to write the post. And having somebody, you know, even take on a part of that for me, such as, here's all my ideas, now go and make some posts, or here's all my ideas, go and put them in some sort of order so I know exactly what I'm posting on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, saves me hours and hours and hours of brain space. And I think when you get to a point where you're able to outsource, and you can outsource anything these days, you can outsource your SEO, you can outsource your lead generation, you can outsource somebody sitting and answering your DMs, social content, creating lead magnets for you, your email marketing. The two things you should outsource is, first of all, anything that's not your zone of genius. So anything that isn't like, oh my word, I'm absolutely killing this. And if you can make more money doing something else, you should outsource it. So, and there's so much you can do, and you don't have to start with, I know it can seem massive to take somebody on for 20 hours a week. You don't have to start there. You can start at just a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And it frees up your time, and you will grow your business. And I know it's super scary, but that focused time that you can get back, you can be generating leads, you can be in conversations, you can be at networking events. Anything that physically needs you, yeah, absolutely. Anything that doesn't physically need your face, your voice, you can outsource to somebody else, and then you can.
And once you outsource, you will know, you will not go back. Honestly, it is a very scary thought when you're passing over parts of your business to somebody else. But if you can get it right and find the right person, oh my goodness, like,
even to like
frees up so much brain space, doesn't it?
Yeah, even like if you write your blogs but have somebody SEO them, or you write your blogs but you have somebody schedule them for you or do the images for you. And you can find people for little small tasks like that on Fiverr, or you know, the other little sites, Upwork and things like that online. So you don't have to jump 2:30 a.m. and hire somebody for 20 hours a week or anybody full time, but all of these minutes are more minutes you can spend on your business and not in your business.
Yeah, and another great tip here, until you kind of reach that point, is to batch your tasks whenever possible. So, for example, set aside a day to write all of the blog posts for the month, or spend an hour scheduling social media content. And as we've said, there's loads of tools out there to help you do this. There's like Hootsuite, or even just Business Suite for scheduling your social media posts, Trello and Asana for planning and tracking your content calendar. And you can block out time in Google Calendar, you know, so you can work on your business, not just in it.
And once you get into the habit of batching and scheduling, it will feel much more manageable. I'm a bit of a flitter between tasks, but actually when I do sit and blog, I will sit and do 4 or 5 together in one day. And I'm a massive kind of believer, if the words aren't flowing, I won't do it, and I'll go and do a different task and come back to it another time. But I'm in and out of emails. I'm a bit of a flitter between tasks sometimes. But I know that when I batch or when I schedule or when I sit and think, right, for the next 30 minutes, this is what I'm going to concentrate on, or we'll often say, won't we, right, we've got 20 minutes, what can we get done?
Yeah.
It's actually surprising what you can actually get done when it's focused work.
Yeah, I'm very much a one thing, one time kind of person. And actually, over the Christmas break, I was kind of looking into my star sign a little bit more. And it was like Capricorn, known for starting something and finishing it. And it actually said one thing, one time. And I was like, this is me.
So Taurus and Capricorn, I was looking at this the other day, they're very much friends. So I'm a Taurus. Okay, so let's recap. If you're not getting inquiries or enough inquiries, you want to ask yourself, is your website optimized and up to date? Are you blogging consistently? Are you showing up on social media with a clear strategy? Are you thinking about what PR opportunities you can get? And are you showing your face and building trust through video? Are you visible? And this is one of the biggest things that we chat to our clients about, having visibility strategy inside of your business.
That's it. The more you put yourself out there, the more you will attract your ideal clients. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Web Pro podcast. If you found it super helpful, please share it with a friend in the industry. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Pause this right now and go and do it.
And if you are ready to take your business to the next level and you'd like to have a chat with us as to how we can help you get there, head over to the Wedding Business Hub on Instagram for resources and support. And we'd love to have a little cup of tea and a chat with you. See you next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wed Pro podcast. Full transcribes of this episode, plus every other episode we have done, are available at www.theweddingbusinesshub.com/blogs. Thanks so much for listening. If you do have any questions about this episode or anything else at all, you can email us at info@theweddingbusinesshub.com. And if you are loving our episodes, which I know you are, make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button so you can stay updated with any new episodes that land. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.